Hello, everybody. How are you? It's so good to be back again. How's everything going with you? How's everything on my end? Things are fine, great. It's a beautiful weather. Life is going on well. If you can hear me, please type "I can hear you" in the comment section. I just want to be sure that I'm not speaking to myself. If you can hear me, please type "I can hear you" in the comment section. I just want to be sure I'm not speaking to myself. Yeah, good to see you. Yeah, I see some people joining the call, joining the session. Great. So I think our guest for today is experiencing some technical difficulties, but we're just waiting for him to um, join us. Okay, I see someone writing there. Hey, my brother, how's it going? thank you for thank you for watching it. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm glad everybody's fine. And today I have a friend of mine. He's part of our network. He's a motivational speaker, but he's not based in the United States. He's in Jamaica. So let's see if we can have him join us in a few minutes. Initially, we tried to get him on with his computer, but for some reason, the computer was acting up. So right now he's trying to see if he can join us using his phone. All right. So let's give him a few more minutes. But while we're waiting for him to connect, I want you all to please like and share this broadcast. Like and share this broadcast because we're gonna deliver messages that will be relevant to your growth, messages that would help you move from where you are to where you want to be, especially in times like this, where the pandemic hit us so hard. It destabilized everything and everybody, every business. Right now, we know the level of depression worldwide has increased, the level of anxiety has increased, the level of domestic violence, and even the level of hunger has increased. So, what we will do is to share with you some strategies that helped us overcome these challenges. All right. So, please like and share this broadcast so that somebody who is following you on social media would have the opportunity. Okay, here he comes. Let's see if this will be better now. Let me bring him on. Awesome. Awesome. Valbert, how are you?
I am better than good. How about you?
I am doing well. Thank you so much. So I was just trying to let the people know that you're trying to come in. So in the meantime, now that you're here, we just have to get started. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything good on your end?
Yes, everything is good. What about you? Great.
Yeah. Everything. Yeah.
Awesome.
Everything
Awesome.
is
No
good.
problem. All right. So if you can still hear me over there, those who are listening, who are watching, please type "I can hear you" just for me to be sure I'm not speaking to myself. So welcome to another episode of the Morale Booster with John Ughulu. The Morale Booster is a platform for entrepreneurs, career professionals, leaders, and the general public to give back to the society through coaching and mentoring. Experience, they say, is the best teacher. And this program is being sponsored by Main Seed Consulting Group. For bookings, adverts, or sponsorship inquiries, please feel free to contact us. Our contact information is currently being displayed on the screen. It's going to be there all through. Before I introduce our guest for today, I want to remind you to like and share this broadcast because there's somebody on your contact list who needs to hear what we have to say today. So today, my guest is Valbert Bryan. Valbert is a multi-level network marketing independent business owner. He's an entrepreneur and a motivational speaker. Valbert was born in 1978 in Kingston, Jamaica. I'm sure so many of us would love to visit Jamaica. And he is the last of 10 children. And at the age of 9 years old, Valbert received a female goat from his mother as a gift to teach him responsibility. Can you imagine that? That's awesome. While working with his father in the woodwork shop, he learned the value of how to work and earn money. Later on, Valbert began to sell goats from the reproduction of the one his mother gave him previously. This was a huge financial relief as it provided the means he needed to help with his school expenses. Valbert had an entrepreneurial spirit from an early age, which he learned from his father. He started out doing odd jobs to earn and pay for his school fees at Westphalia All Age School. Valbert graduated from Westphalia All Age School in Jamaica, West Indies in 1994. Because he couldn't afford higher learning at that time, he used the money he made from raising goats to go to technical school, where he studied auto mechanics. He excelled in that area, and right now, Valbert has saved enough money to finally go back to school, where he earned a diploma in auto mechanics. So he went back to school, earned a diploma in auto mechanics, and the decision to further his education paid off when he landed a job as an automotive technician for the renowned Mercedes-Benz dealership. He then went on to earn many other certificates in the auto industry. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I want you all to join me as I welcome to this virtual stage, this great platform, no other person but Valbert Bryan. Woo, woo, woo. Valbert, thank you so
Hey,
much.
hey, hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, everybody, wherever you find yourself across the world. We are here to expand your vision and to teach you and to show you that it's not where you are from, but it's where you are going. It's not, you don't need to be great to get started, but you have to initially make the initial step before greatness will be attained. And so stay tuned, call your friends, your relative, your neighbor, wherever you find yourself. Let's tune in and let's take it away.
That's awesome. That's my Jamaican brother there speaking. I love that. I'm
Yeah,
sure you all can feel the energy. The energy is
yeah.
at the peak. So sit back, relax, and listen and enjoy as we discuss important strategies that would help you move from wherever you are to where you want to be. Okay, Valbert. So thank you. That takes me to my very first question. All right.
Yeah.
Now, it took you a while to finally join the program because you had some technical glitches. And I know
Yeah.
you went through some stress. How did you manage to put yourself together, irrespective of those little challenges we just encountered?
Well, life is a series of challenges, but we should also remember they are mixed with opportunities. So while the challenges will come, then we should look for the benefit in them rather than to focus on the obstacle that we are facing. And when you look at things from that perspective, then greatness is the only thing that you will achieve. And that's where I
Absolutely.
want
I
to be
love
from.
that. I love that. Now, the reason why this wasn't supposed to be part of the question, but the reason why I decided to ask is because what just happened is what you would typically anybody an entrepreneur, in your relationship, in at your place of work, life happens, right? You might have a plan to make things go to the right, but sometimes what we call Murphy's law says what will go wrong. So when life hits you with those curveballs, with those challenges, which will certainly happen, how do you make things right? So he just explained to you having the right mindset. Am I correct?
Yes, having the right mindset. That's the key principle that you
That's
need
it.
to have.
That's it. Having the right mindset. So, for those of you who are listening, no matter what challenges you're going through in life, no matter what life has thrown at you, always have that positive mindset and you will be able to overcome. Don't fret over things you cannot control, but rather look for a solution. Focus on those things you can control. Am I right, Valbert?
That is the premises that we want to take things from. Yes. Don't waste your energy looking all about the other things that you have no control over. Like one person said it this way: don't worry about the sun coming up in the morning from the east. You can't change that. Unless you have your own planet when you can dictate which angle you want the sun comes up from, then embrace that, deal with that. All you need to know is that it will come up from the east and structure everything around that and work from that perspective.
Awesome. That's great. Thank you so much for that now. Okay. Valbert is a certified Les Brown speaker. He was trained by one of the world's greatest motivational speakers, Mr. Les Brown. And today he is fulfilling his calling, inspiring and motivating people. So, Valbert, can you please tell us what made you decide to become a public speaker? You know, you,
Yeah.
based on where you're coming from the
I tell you,
your job as an auto mechanic, what inspired you to become a speaker?
I, life is interesting. It's a journey that full of surprises. And now I truly know without a shadow of a doubt, based on my own experiences, that there are things within you that you don't know as yet that you can do far greater than what you thought. But you have to have the desire, the urge to try out new things, to adapt. Einstein says insanity is doing the same thing over and over and try to get a different result. If you want
I
a different result, then you have to take things from a different perspective. And with me, it is no different. And for me personally, I heard the calling. In life, sometimes you might know that you have a hunch for something and you couldn't figure it out. You can't put the pieces together. You ask yourself a lot of why. But as time goes by, then the pieces will come together. And finally, when you created that puzzle and completed, then you can see this is why I had this feeling, this hunches. I wanted to do things where I don't know where the desire came from. And for me, it was always my friends who see it, always telling me that, hey, in the church settings, you call it testimony,
right.
which is really a story. They always say, give a testimony because you always seem to know some things or hear about something or live something that has the the crucial points to change
Right.
people's life. And now I know that our lives are a blueprint, so we can teach others to encounter and endure the things that we have been through.
That's true. That's true. I love that. I love that. I love the way you summarize it and you put it. Now you made mention about um, following the calling. How can one know, that man or that woman out there who knows nothing
Okay.
about public speaking? How will they know when that, what kind of feeling would they have to know that, okay, it is time for me to focus on what God wants me to do?
Okay. So you might be in a different profession, a different field,
Right.
and you would notice that certain things would appeal to you for reason unbeknown to you at the time. You just can't put your finger on it, but you're attracted to this thing or this person or this thing fascinates you. And when that person speaks, it's like it resonates with you on a higher level.
Right.
Because most of the time life will show us ourselves in other person before we are introduced to ourselves, but we need to see somebody doing it or we need to hear about it, and then that small bird inside of us start to be mesmerized and to be fascinated with that thing, and that is the place that everything start to create and to formulate itself. And then once you take action, then it will expand.
Right. So basically, that vision would constantly show up to you.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
it
will.
will constantly, the idea would always be so loud, so clear, like it will keep on coming to you, and you would know this is something you need to try. Is that correct?
It will. And as you talk about it, the appeal that comes to you. Like for one of my mentor and coach, Les Brown, it was a school teacher that
Right.
is one of the first person who really stood out and he started to emulate. For me personally, I listened to a lot of motivational speaker over the years, and for some reason, all of them are good, and I learned principles and formulas of success and building great relationship from all of them. But when I heard Les Brown voice, there was a different. It was as if like your very being is like your core inside you start to come alive. Like when he's speaking, is like he's speaking to you directly. And for me, that was my calling. And then the pieces start to make sense. Why I always being in a position to know all these stories or these experience or to be the one to share with others. And that is when I put my finger on it directly and say, this is where I need to be moving forward from.
Right, right, right. I love that. Thank you so much for that. Now, I know when you first started, or when you made up your mind to become a speaker or even an entrepreneur, you ran into certain challenges, right?
Yes.
Now, can you please share with us one of those major challenges you faced when you made up your mind to go into speaking full time?
Okay. I just speak about Murphy Law just a while ago. Sometimes it's not only Murphy's law will come
Yeah.
at you, but Murphy himself. And I'm telling you, I'm living testimony of that. And whenever you decide to make a change or to do something great, I'm telling you, something is going to present itself to say, this is the reason why you can't do it. And you don't need 10 reasons why you can't do it. One reason is enough.
Yes.
And most of the time, it might be your background, it might be your education, it might be the finances, it might be you don't have the connection, but there is always something to present itself, and you have to push through that barrier. And for me, one of the thing was the finances, because when you're dealing with a family, you know how demanding life can be, and apart from that, work demands so much time from your day, and then at the end of the day, most persons are exhausted. How much person would want to invest in themselves, even if they have the money to do that. And apart
Right.
from that, the studies that goes along with it, most people will be turned off by the extra work, the extra finances, because now you're looking at ways how to stretch that, whether monthly, weekly salary, whatever it is, to fit that new life that you are creating for yourself. And outside of that, there will be people around you to tell you,
Yeah.
hey, that's a crazy idea. Whether it be your friend, your family, your spouse, there will always somebody will say, man, it's not worth it. And you have to push through that,
Right.
because I heard the saying one time, and it always stuck with me. Somebody once says that opinions are like behinds.
Yeah.
Everybody got one.
Yes.
Everybody got one. And that is the place that you have to move from and break through those barriers.
That's true. That's true. They say do not allow other people's opinions of you become your reality. Just like what you
Yes.
said, everybody has an opinion. In fact, that person who has no idea about what you want to get yourself into has more opinion than an expert in that area. Am I correct?
That is always the case. And the sooner you learn that and accept that and deal with that, it is the best thing for you. because then you can step past it and overlook it. And also, when people cannot see the greatness for themselves, they cannot see it in you also, because they refuse to acknowledge that they themselves can do far much more than what they have been doing.
Right, right, right. Thank you so much for that. And I know Jamaica is also a developing country, right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, now, and I believe the pandemic also impacted you guys as much as it did over here in the United States. Like my birth country, which is Nigeria, they don't take it as seriously as we take it here in the United States, because over there they have like lots of herbs, they have different things. But now, based on the impact of the pandemic, how were you able to how were you able to overcome those challenges that came, especially with the economy, business, and how did you go about it?
Yeah, there's something about a decision. I, I was reading this book um, s- just some time ago, and it is written by Napoleon Hill, and it shows some principles that successful person all have in common, which they use. And a decision is a critical one, because not making a decision in and of itself is a decision.
All right.
And it speaks about he was interviewing a lot of person, which he did over the 20-year period of his life. And there was this instant that he went to this prison and was interviewing some inmates. And these guys were on death row. It was about 8 guys. But he noticed that one of these guys was so happy, was so calm, was so relaxed. And he was startled, because for a person that is going to be executed in the next 48 hours, how is it that you're smiling, you're not showing any sign of anxiety? And it prompted him to talk to that person, and he went to talk to the person individually and asked the question, how is it that you are so calm, knowing that in the next few hours that is it for you? And the response was remarkable. The inmate stated, he says that the minute he learned that this was his fate, he had to make the decision to embrace it or to put it off. And
Right.
he said that his life was so filled with so much tragedy and problems and confusion. He accepted the fact that, hey, this thing soon be all over. And once he come to that this decision, he was at peace with himself. And what was even more interesting is that he was eating shortly thereafter, and he ate like 3 servings of what one person would have consumed, because he was saying that, hey, I'm gonna make the best of this until the last minute, and that decision set him free. And you might say this is crazy, but it shows you the power of a decision. Whenever you make up your mind and decided this is what you're gonna do, then automatically you are already successful in that undertaking, whatever it contains, whether it be life or death, whether it be a goal. Making a decision, it comes with certain power that will
Right.
enforce you to go through. And that is why persons who cannot come to a decision more than likely will not be successful, because they are between two or more opinions. But for persons, entrepreneurial mindset person, they know that when it's time to make a decision, whether it might be a tough one, they have to do it, because that is what leaders do. And that is where, if we live our life from that perspective, then it will solve a lot of our problems.
Right. I quite agree with you. I love the story you just shared with us because
Yeah,
everything really revolves around mindset.
it is.
So basically, when we understand how to control our minds, our subconscious mind, things, we would have so much power. Because I remember Louis Pugh said there is nothing more powerful than a made up mind. So which means when your mind is made up to say, okay, no matter what's going on, I will not let it weigh me down. That way it's easier for you to overcome the situation. So thank you once again for sharing that story. That was a great story. And I've heard people say motivational speakers just say things that are not possible. They say motivational speakers just say blah 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 blah. But the thing is, what's your opinion about that?
Well, let me tell you something. That question, as there was this song some time ago that it's getting hot up in here. I know that you touched that point. I remember I was talking to some business partner of mine, and they shared the analogy, which is a brilliant one. And I would put it in this way: people would say, motivation is not essential. And I remember someone posed that question, and the speaker asked the person, "Does taking a shower is essential?" And the person says, "Of course." But he says within 24 hours, you're going to be dirty again and you're going to be smelly again, right?
Yes.
He says, okay, same thing with motivation. You might need it every so often. It might be a time when it got stale or it wear off, but you need to do it again, just like a shower, because it refresh the mind and the spirit, because everything that is done twice. First in the mind, and then it becomes a reality. So you thought about the thing. So what motivational messages does, it stimulates you to think about the things that you want to do. And when you have that stimulation, then you'll start to think about how you can go forth. And with every situation, with every problem, there's always two sides. There's something that you can do initially.
Yes.
Okay, whatever it is that you're going through, always know this. You can do something about it. If you want a job, you can start fill out application. That doesn't guarantee that you're gonna get the job, but you do the groundwork. There's always something you can do, and that is where motivational messages comes in, to give you that spark, to take the first step. And once you're in motion, then the other rest will formulate itself as needed as you go on.
Wow, wow, that's awesome. I love the story you used. You said it's like taking a shower, right?
Yes.
When you take a shower now, you wouldn't say, okay, I already took my shower. I took a shower this morning. I won't take a shower again for the next 1 year, right? It
No,
doesn't work.
you wouldn't say that. No, it doesn't work that way.
So you have to constantly do it so that you feel fresh, right? That's what motivation is all about. And I love that story behind it. And for those people who are listening, what I always like to tell them is that, just like what the good book says, faith happens by hearing and hearing and hearing. And based on what Valbert also said, you need to constantly refresh your mind of these positive things. Right. For those who are listening, motivational speakers are not around to tell you something new. No. The job of a motivational speaker is to remind you constantly of those things you already know, but you are not doing. You know that you need to constantly eat healthy, right? So that you can stay
Yes.
healthy, but you don't do it. So, but if the motivational speaker says it today, it doesn't resonate with you. He says it tomorrow, it doesn't resonate with you. One day,
It
you
will.
would you would realize that what he's saying makes sense. So, a motivational speaker is not. around to tell you anything new, but to tell you the things you already know, to remind you of the things you already know so that you can start doing it. Am I right, Valbert?
Yes, and as one of my coaches would say, common sense is not common practice.
Come on.
You already know the thing, but until you make it applicable,
Right.
then it would serve you no use. And that is what motivation message does. Once you start to think, because there's power in a idea, one
Right.
idea. Researchers has shown that we get 3 to 4 ideas per year, that if we took on one of those ideas and pursue it, we would become successful in that regard. And
That's
there's
true.
a typical story that goes well with this. Most persons know about Serena Williams, the famous
Right.
basketball, the
Right.
tennis court player, and all that. And
Tennis.
and
Right.
and, and she's one of the best female at that. She and her sister in the world. Okay, what many people does not know is this: her father was watching television one day, and he saw a female playing this game, and the female was very successful and was making a lot of money. Remember now, at the time, he didn't have those girls. He thought in his mind that, maybe I should have another child and teach that child, that girl, how to play this game. And that is what he did.
Yeah.
No, think about it. It's just an idea. This man never played tennis. He wasn't a player. He started to read books and how the game is mastered. And before you know it, these two girls came along. He taught these girls how to play. Somebody who is not professional, somebody who don't know nothing about the game. And the remarkable story is also this. Like I said before, when you're gonna do anything great,
Yep.
obstacle is gonna present
Oh
itself.
yes.
And
Oh
in
yes.
in that area where they were living, he wanted this park to train his girls. And there was a drugs leader gang that was running around in that time, and they occupied that park. And one day while he was out there training, one of the guys from the gang let him know, hey, this ain't happening here. This is our turf. This is where we do our business.
Right.
And for a younger guy to be telling an older man, which these guys are members of the gang, they're saying that, hey, don't come back here. And he made a decision and let them know that, hey, I'm going to teach my girls how to play tennis on this court, and you're not going to stop me. And even though they kick his butt, even some of his front teeth was missing from that incident. But today, those girls are two of the best in the world because of one single idea that the father came about in his mind. And that is what motivational messages does. It sparks that interest to think about what it is you can do, what you have never done. You have no certification, you have no training, but the idea is there. And once you hack on the idea, start to do research, studies, find persons who are in the field, then you start to expand your knowledge. And if you pursue it to the end, we can all attest to the result. Those girls are the best in the world
Right.
at their
Right.
game.
Right. Right. Great story. Great story. And that resonates with me. For those who are listening, I'm sure you just heard what he said. He just dropped some nuggets now. And that's what he does. He's a motivational speaker. He works with people to help them identify and eliminate limiting beliefs. Um, how can people reach out to you, Valbert? Do you have a website?
Yes. If you go on Facebook, type in Valbert Bryan, then my page will come up. My website is there. You can send me an email, a message, and I will return to you in a timely manner. Because
Well,
especially now, the time that we're living in,
right.
people are going through so much situation that You would not believe the person, your neighbor, your co-worker, until you start a conversation or open up to them. You will not know what they are going through. These are the
Right.
time when the word is needed even more. When people losing their homes because of foreclosure, their jobs, their livelihood, people need to hear a word of hope, because that is
True.
why this suicidal rate is so high. Because when people think that there's no hope, then that is when persons commit suicide. But when you can expand somebody's vision, and also to assure them that nothing that they are going through can last, and that is a
Right.
fact. Whatever
Right.
it is that you're going through, I don't care what it is, I'm here to tell you that it can't last. Just like when winter, you're going through winter. If you can endure the cold for a little bit, I assure you, summer is coming. But it's a process. It will take time. Whatever situation you are going through in your life, it cannot last. The key to survive is to endure, because change, the only thing that's constant is change. And
Right.
when you know these facts, then hey, you will know how to master whatever it is that you're going through.
Right. 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 Thank you so much for that, those words of inspiration. He says change is constant. So, which means no matter what challenges you're going through in life, it will certainly end one day. For as long as the clock
It's
ticks,
ticking.
it means nothing can last forever. All right. That's a powerful reminder there, Valbert. I love that. Thank you so much. So, if anybody wants to get in touch with Valbert, you can find him on Facebook. Just Google, just type Valbert Bryan, and you will find his page. Feel free to follow him. Please follow him right now. Everybody who's listening, follow him. He drops a lot of motivational stuff every day on social media, things that can inspire you. So please go ahead and follow him. So thank you so much, Valbert. Before we go, just 1 minute. I want you to just say some motivational words for those people who have lost their jobs, especially due to the pandemic.
Okay. So for those persons, first thing I want to say is that words are powerful. Whatever you call that thing, that is what it is to you. So don't use words like you have lost your job. Use terminology that says that you have been released. Because when you lost something, then more likely you go looking for it. But when you were released for a greater purpose, then you will live from that premises. So in every adversity, there is a seed. Ellen Keller, a blind lady, says that. She also says one of the worst things is having sight but has no vision. When we don't know enough to make changes in our life will move on us. And when some of these things happen, that is life ways of saying you are outgrowing this situation. Now is the time for you to become an entrepreneur, to create your own business, to have your own brand. And that is the place that you need to live your life from. And success will be yours.
Thank you so, so much. That was powerful, Valbert. Thank
Yeah,
you. These are the the kinds of positive words that we need, especially in times like this. Thank you so
especially in time.
much.
So
Thank
fitting.
you. And yeah, for those of you who are listening via podcast, please remember to like and share it. For those of you who are watching via Facebook or YouTube, please remember to like and share this broadcast, because there is somebody out there on your contact list, somebody who has been waiting for a lifetime to just hear these words, these positive words, to prevent them from committing suicide. These positive words to stop them from thinking, falling into depression. These positive words can stop them from, you know, anxiety. It can prevent so many things. So please, we're not asking you for money. We're not asking you for anything that is difficult. All we're asking is share this broadcast so that somebody who needs it, even if you feel you don't need it, somebody you know needs to hear the
Somebody
message.
does.
Yes,
Somebody does.
yes. So thank you so
Somebody
much,
does.
Albert. Yeah, we have people saying hi to you. Let's see.
Yes.
Yeah, Ify says, "What's up, bro? Hello, Ify."
Yes, I'm just a brother from another mother. You know,
Yeah,
we all are one. Let's share the love and the peace and to help each other. Because I want to leave you with this. There was this the Golden Bridge in, I think is in San Francisco. There's over 1,400 person who have committed suicide, jump off that bridge,
right,
and it's only 25 of them survive out of over 1,400. And one of the guy who survived, they did an interview with him, and he says that the day when he was walking to the bridge, having the intention to commit suicide, he says that if somebody did just smile at him, if somebody did say good morning, he says even though he was going to kill himself, a part of him wanted to live. He just wanted somebody to say hello. How is the morning? Good day. Have yourself a pleasant day. He would have not jumped off the bridge.
right, right.
Luckily for him, he was one of the survivors. But
Wow.
1,400 other person did not make it. I'm saying to you, help somebody and help yourself. It could just be a word of encouragement. It can just be a smile. It just can be just open the door for somebody because you don't know what people is dealing with. When somebody has to watch their loved one being cremated or be buried over Zoom, can't say goodbye, can't hold their hand. I'm saying it's a new place.
Right, right,
Do the little things that you would consider for others because we
right.
all are one, and the little things can make a huge difference.
Yes, little things can make a huge difference. Thank you so much, Valbert. So there is a lady here who says her name is Adejoke. She says inspiring. Thank you so much, Adejoke, for listening to Valbert, for watching this broadcast. Please remember to share it. So, well, um, that's great. So, Valbert, it's been a pleasure having you on the program. I hope when next I invite you, you would join us. You would come over and inspire the people more.
Yes, and for sure, and we should also let others know that we have the platform where we train speakers, we train people who want to be a better version of their self. To give the young people and older person opportunities and to let them know that hey, you have greatness inside you regardless of what you have done in the past. Each day is a new chapter, is a new leaf, and we can work
Right,
with you, and we have the tools and the strategy and the skill to take you from where you are, because
right.
every great person has never done it without a mentor, and
That's
that's where
true.
we
That's
come in.
true.
And just
That's
reach
true.
out to us. We are ready to help and to serve and to make this world a better place than where we found it.
That's true. Thank you so much for that reminder. So, if you are interested, if you're listening right now, if you're interested in becoming a motivational speaker, feel free to, like I said, follow Valbert. Feel free to reach out to him. He can show you the strategies. He can work with you. He can coach you. Just follow him. There is a secret to storytelling. It's not just about telling stories. I'm sure you heard all the stories he told about every situation I asked about. So there is a strategy to that. And if you want to learn that strategy, Valbert is somebody who can help you get to that level. So please, right now, go and follow him on Facebook. Valbert is Valbert. His last name is Bryan, Bryan. You can't miss him there. All right. So thank you, everybody. Valbert, thank you once again.
Sure thing.
It's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for inspiring and motivating people out there. And until same time next week, everybody, have a great, great rest of your day. Bye, everyone.
Peace.